deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want a ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
We are live here for Lions Nation Unite, Tuesday, 4 p.m. to talk all Detroit Lions. Appreciate everybody jumping in the building right now, whether you're live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Make sure you hit that like button, that thumbs up. That's what we do on this bad boy. Got a good show for you folks today, and I'm here with my main man, Mark Orem from Orem's Forum. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, what's going on, Mike? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Let's talk some football, man. We got some OTAs around the corner.
OTAs, we're getting close to training camp. The season is coming quick. That's the NFL season 24/7. We are in that lull period, but lull ends really quick, specifically if you're making content. So we're going to get right into it. We got Weston Lion Chrome in the building. My guy, Paul Ginder, Devin Davis, Giovanni Lyons, Riley Elder, Lions Planet, Alan Dana, and Kenyatta Stavel. Thank you so much for joining in right now. We appreciate you. And everybody, when you start coming in, we'll definitely shout you out. Mark Orem, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. You know, I'm on days, man, back to work with a nice 4-day weekend. You know, happy Victoria Day over here in Canada. Yeah, man, just grinding. Try to put some videos together. I did one yesterday. Yeah, man, it's getting hot. So I'm ready to talk some football, man. How you doing, bro?
Fantastic. 80 degrees here, hot and heavy,
yes.
Just the way I like it. A lot of fun here. Girlfriend, other room, ready to go see Fast 10 after this stream. Gonna be a good time. But we got OTAs coming up. Before we talk about OTAs, I don't know what's going on in the rumor mill. I don't know if people are on crack or if they're drunk. But there is a ton of rumors involving players and trades to the Detroit Lions. And we're talking about from local beat writers as well as the mainstream. And we're going to get to some of these players. Then we'll get in the OTAs. Then we'll do QA and call it a day. Chase Young, have you been seeing what I've been seeing? Lions should trade for Chase Young, edge rusher from the Washington Commanders. Young player, very talented. He has been injured in the last couple of years. They did not pick up his fifth-year option. What do you think about potentially trading for a Chase Young?
Yeah, I saw one article the other day about a potential trade with the Washington Commanders of bringing over Chase Young. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. We all know what, Chase was one of the guys that I wanted back in the day, but he was drafted right before us. I think at 2, I believe, by Washington, and we ended up taking Jeff Okudah, the Ohio State product. Really good rookie season. I believe he was rookie of the year defensively. He had a nice season. Then he's had some injuries over the last couple of years. This is a guy that's got a lot of talent, but it's a guy that it's one of those. You'd be rolling the dice and picking up a guy like that. The talent's always there, right? We're not really too worried about the talent. It's just, availability. Best ability is availability. We talk about it a lot. I know a lot of YouTubers do, especially me and you, Mike. We just had a guy here, DeAndre Swift, that was kind of like, best ability is availability, and we got rid of him. So I can't really see Brad Holmes going after a guy like Chase Young as of right now. He'd be a nice addition, but I'm not going to go mortgage the future for a guy like Chase Young. But, you can pick up the phone, maybe make a call, man, just inquire. There's nothing wrong with kicking the tires, see what the Washington Commanders would want. If it's anything like a first or second round, I'm hanging the phone up.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm hanging the phone up immediately. And, we can have another conversation another day. But if it's like beyond a third or a fourth round, I might be interested. But he's just got an injury history that you just really can't ignore.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Best ability is availability. It is frustrating when you have players that are talented, but they cannot stay on the field. The cohesive unit then doesn't become cohesive because you got a guy coming in and out of the lineup. I'm with you. If it's a first round pick, hail to the nah. If it's a second round pick, hail to the nah. If it's a third round pick, because you got to understand, we're probably going to be a late third round pick. Everything's going to be a little bit late because if you're going to be a good football team, that's how it works in the NFL draft. Would you guys in the comment section trade for Mr. Chase Young? Even though he, his rookie year, he played really good. I think he got a little over 9 sacks.
Something like that, yeah.
And even when he did return from injury, his sack total and production went down, but his run stuffing is really good. So that's something that you could hang your hat on. I think if it's a cheap for draft picks, I would consider it. Very possible because he still has, he does have talent, and talent is always something that, you could take a little bit of a risk on. But again, just like you're saying, availability is what you want for this football team. Another player that we're hearing that the Detroit Lions should acquire on is free agent Ngakoue. Yannick Ngakoue, edge rusher, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, Minnesota Vikings. He is a player that actually is good in production, still a free agent, 9.5 sacks last year. What do you think about the idea of attempting to sign Yannick Ngakoue?
Yeah, there was another guy that I liked a few years ago when he was a free agent. The one thing that Yannick does really well is that he rushes the passer. He gets in the backfield. He causes lots of problems. He gets those QB hits, those QB pressures, those sacks. One thing he does not do very well is, he does not play the run well. He gets eaten up a lot. He's a smaller defensive end. He's a speed guy. He doesn't play the run good whatsoever. So, it's just another guy that, he's probably going to ask for a little bit of money because he does get to the quarterback. So he's not going to be too much on the cheap. But, like if you pick up a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, you're going to get rid of Julian Okwara, which isn't really too bad of a loss there. Okwara, the Julian's kind of, I think, on the bubble anyways.
Yep.
But if you're going to bring in a guy like Yannick, you're bringing him in just strictly for pass rushing. So, it's another guy. Maybe I'd make the call, but I'm not going to go out of my way really to go after and pursue a guy like Yannick, though. But he's not a bad football player because he still produces, man. He just doesn't play the run. That's one thing that we kind of need on our defensive line, though. Pass rush, fine. That's cool. But we do need some guys that can set the edge at the defensive end spot.
Devin Davis is correct. Also been connected to former Detroit Lions wide receiver Kenny Galladay, also New York Giants former wide receiver over there. Should the Detroit Lions look to sign Kenny Galladay? I'll go first. I don't think so. I think our wide receiver core right now is fine. I know a lot of analysts are saying that it's not and that we need to add another playmaker for that group. I really don't see it. I think people underestimate Khalif Raymond, what he brings to this football team. He's always getting possessions. I think people forget about Josh Reynolds. He does good when he is throwing the ball his way, and Jared Goff does attempt to do that. Then you got players like Antoine Green, who we drafted in the 7th round, and of course, other individuals like Marvin Jones Jr. I personally don't believe bringing Kenny Galladay on this team is going to do anything. What do you think there, Mark?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want nothing to do with Kenny Galladay, man. There was a reason why, when Holmes came in and Bob Quinn tried to exit stage left by signing him to a massive deal and leaving Brad Holmes with that big contract. And Galladay turned it down. Thank God. He turned it down, and then he went on to the New York Giants, my second favorite team. And I hated the fact that the Giants went and picked him up, and he was nothing but horrific in New York. Man, he quit on that team. Injuries, who knows if he's faking it. He doesn't seem like a guy that really likes football. And one thing that this regime does, they live and die football. So to think that we're actually looking at him, I'm going to say we're not. I think it's just an article out there, Devin,
Yep.
that just,
I agree.
we just got ties to him for some reason. Brad Holmes didn't sign him for a reason back in the day. They let him walk.
Smartest decision he made at that time.
Yeah, it was his first decision, right? Yeah, it was his first one. He gave him a pat on the back, gave him an attaboy, and said, hey man, go find someone to rob, because you're not robbing us, big boy. And he went out to the Giants. So I think there was a reason why they didn't sign him, and we kind of seen what Kenny Golladay has done in New York, which is absolutely nothing. And I don't think he's going to be coming here. I'd rather, like Mike said, we can't forget about guys like Khalif Raymond. We brought in Marvin Jones. Antoine Green could make some noise as a 7th round pick. I think that guy, keep an eye on that kid. Keep an eye on Keaton Thompson too, an undrafted free agent that they brought in. Keep an eye on him. And if they're going to go out and get somebody, maybe bring in a guy like Jarvis Landry, maybe. And I'm not saying we got to go do it, but I'd rather bring in a Landry than a Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, I fully agree there. I just don't think it's that big of a positional need. And now look, if you want to get an upgrade at wide receiver, I think the only way that would occur if there was a significant injury before the trade deadline, say we lost one of our main players, and it's like, you know what, we're on a run. We just lost, say, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We need to go get a DeAndre Hopkins, or we need to go get a Cortland Sutton from the Denver Broncos. I think that would be the only possible situation where the Lions would get a wide receiver is if there's a significant injury. So people, I see it in the articles all the time. That's probably more realistic to the truth there. Let's talk about OTAs. We got OTAs coming up. A lot of things that we can watch. I think it's very important. We'll just go through a couple. I'm really excited to look at the defensive backs for the Detroit Lions, how they're going to use these guys, because we got so many playmakers when it comes to corners and safeties. You have Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley. Yeah, Sutton. It's just ridiculous. And I'm so curious to see how they form that defensive backfield, who's starting, all of that. What do you think about the DBs for the Lions here in OTAs?
I'm excited for the DBs, man. We can finally have a little bit of a sigh of relief and say, hey, man, on paper right now, this looks like a completely different secondary. Bringing in CJ Gardner-Johnson, like you said, Mosley, Sutton, all those guys had really good years. Mosley was having a fantastic year before he went down for the 49ers.
Yep.
Gardner-Johnson got hurt too last year, but he was at 6-7 picks. Sutton was playing lights out for the Steelers. We brought in all those guys, and we drafted a guy like Brian Branch. It's going to be really interested to see where this kid is going to play, because he can play the nickel. He can play safety. There was an article on him coming out saying he wants to learn every single position that he can, because,
love it.
Playing time is going to be scarce. Playing time is going to be scarce in our secondary because we have some ballers. And it's interesting. We got Tracy Walker coming back too. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the two corners on the outside. Is it going to be Sutton and Mosley? Who's going to play safety? Is it going to be Walker and Kirby Joseph? We're going to see CJ Gardner-Johnson in the nickel. We're going to see all these. We're going to see Branch in the nickel. Don't forget about Jerry Jacobs. So I'm super excited about this secondary. We got playmakers and ball hawks across the board. I'm super excited about this secondary. I haven't been able to say that since, I can't even tell you, man. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Long time. And Dre Bly. And did Dre Bly coming in? He was a playmaker too when he played in the NFL. And I think he's probably very excited to see that group of young men come in too.
Keep an eye on throughout the season, Tracy Walker and Brian Branch. Yeah. I think at some point it's possible Brian Branch jumps Tracy Walker. I think his ceiling is extremely high, much higher than Tracy Walker. Of all the DBs that we currently have besides Will Harrison, which I think is garbage, Tracy Walker could be one that's like, I don't know, you could get jumped here at some point throughout the season. I think he's going to start out the starter, but Brian Branch is a guy you got to watch on over there. I'm also really excited to look at the Lions running back room. It is completely transformed from last year. Yep. You got Jahmyr Gibbs in, DeAndre Swift out, Jamal Williams out, David Montgomery in. Then you got Ibrahim in there. So 3 new running backs in this group. You got Craig Reynolds and Jamar Jefferson's the OGs apparently for the Lions running back. I cannot wait to see our 2 new guys on there and how Ben Johnson has Jahmyr Gibbs formed up, because he's not going to just be a running back. He's going to be all over. So that'll be exciting there, Mark.
Yeah, I'm really excited too about the running back room. Swift out, Gibbs in. Hopefully Gibbs can be everything that, Swift really wasn't. With DeAndre Swift, it's a touchy subject for some Lions fans. There was a love-hate kind of thing going on. We loved his ability. And again, we talk about his availability. It just wasn't, he averaged 3-4 misses a year of games, always on, always limited touches, here and that. You're not seeing enough of DeAndre Swift, and he has so much talent. So Gibbs comes in, and hopefully he can be everything that Swift really wasn't. And like you said, Gibbs is going to be lined up everywhere. He's not just a running back. He's a full-on weapon. He can go line up in the slot. He can, he's going to kind of replace maybe that speed that we're losing from JMO, because JMO's going to be gone for 6 weeks. And Gibbs comes in. He's a 4-3 guy, just kind of like Jameson Williams. So he replaces the speed there. He's probably the best catching running back in that draft that just happened. And a lot of people, thinks we overreached for Jahmyr Gibbs. Brad Holmes throwing up the middle finger to everybody, saying, I don't really care about your mock drafts. I don't care about positional value. This is a guy that we are going to use, and Ben Johnson's going to utilize him. So, I'm excited for David Montgomery too as well. I think he can be everything that – I think he can honestly be everything that Jamal Williams was. And no shade on Jamal Williams. We loved him. We loved him here. Some things happened during negotiations. He didn't get what he wanted apparently. And we moved on, and Brad Holmes, being the villain he is, he went out and picked up a really good running back in David Montgomery. So, Montgomery, I think is overall a better running back than Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams was not Barry Sanders, even though he did break his record.
No one's Barry.
We loved what he did, but that can be replaced. 12 or 13 1 or 2 yard touchdowns. David Montgomery can do stuff like that. David Montgomery is a very good running back. Catches the ball extremely well. Great blocker. Underrated in every aspect of the game. Averages like over 900 yards in Chicago. And Chicago did have a nice running attack. And I'm not going to bash Chicago for right now, because they did have a good running attack. So, and I think we have a better offense. I can only imagine what he's going to do. So, then bringing in a guy like, Muhammad Ibrahim, who's a pure runner. I don't think he's really going to catch the ball a lot, even though he was doing that in practice, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. He didn't do it a lot at Minnesota in college, but he's a hell of a runner. He's a bowling ball. So he could be a guy that could steal maybe Craig Reynolds' job. Craig Reynolds literally needs to keep his head on a swivel. Jamar Jefferson, Greg Bell, those type of guys are a little bit of trouble making this roster.
Then you look at the right guard position. I am extremely interested if Big V is finally healthy and he will be over there. I have a big eye on that spot. Is he finally healthy? He took a massive pay cut. If he is out there and healthy, that is a massive boost for the Detroit Lions. Massive. If he is not, that is still a question mark then going into training camp, because then you'd have Graham Glasgow and Sorsdale. So what do you think about Big V looking what potentially we'll find out if he's actually at the right guard position and healthy?
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on too as well, because the Big V, he's notorious for going down. He's one of those guys that has a good he plays, then he gets hurt, he plays and he gets hurt. I'm hopefully he's on that track of where he's going to play all 16, 17 games. So, it's something that we need to keep an eye on. Graham Glasgow was brought in, I think, for insurance, because Ragnow too, you have to keep an eye on Ragnow with that foot, with that toe, and then Big V with the back. So, then we drafted Colby Solsdor in the fifth round. They immediately threw him at right guard.
Yep.
Or just guard. And that's going to be a guy to keep an eye on too. He was really underrated in college, went to a small school though, but didn't give up a sack. Like 2019, he gave up like 1 or 2 sacks, and then he was clean for the rest of his collegiate career. So Sorsel learning a new position, but it's something that we need to keep an eye on. I wouldn't be surprised, Mike, if they went out and picked up another guard somewhere down the line.
You know, the Sorsdale, that's going to be fun to watch because I think he can develop and be a pretty damn good right guard for the Detroit Lions. I just don't think it's going to happen this year unless injuries do pile up. Yeah. It's going to be intriguing. That right guard's position is just, it's one just hanging there. It's just hanging there, and it's like, we'll find out. We'll find out. Folks, it's the mailbag segment. If you got questions, Mark does have answers. I may have an answer. And you just go ahead and ask us. Put hashtag whatever, hashtag Mark Orem, hashtag our hairline. We will answer those bad boys. And if we miss it, just copy, paste, put it back in there. And we'll probably miss it again. But we got Paul Ginder here, hashtag Mike. How good is the international player we picked up from the Rams for the offensive line? I had no idea. I have no idea about this. Mark, do you know?
No, I just seen the other day that we picked up the guy. I don't know if he even got any playing time in LA. I'm sorry, bro. I don't really know the answer to that one. So I think it was a guy that was on their practice squad, though, but on the Rams. So I'm not going to expect too much from that guy. 6'7", 300 pounds. I don't know too much about him.
Besides Gibbs and Montgomery, what running back is going to be cut? Well, those two are not going to be cut, but I would say Jahmyr Jefferson is absolutely on the chopping block. I think he does get cut. That's who I got. What do you got, Mark?
Yeah, it could be Greg Bell. It could be Greg Bell or Jahmyr Jefferson. I think they're gonna, I think obviously Gibbs and Montgomery stay, and I think Reynolds and Muhammad Ibrahim are going to be our 4 guys. So it's probably between Bell and Jahmyr Jefferson for sure.
Devin Davis, hashtag smash the hole. We love smash the hole. Do you think that JMO will get some decent playing time this season? Yeah, he absolutely is going to get playing time. Remember, last year he didn't have training camp. He wasn't in preseason. Yes, he suspended 6 games, but he's going to be in training camp. He's going to be in preseason. He can play through that all the way up until week 6, unless it gets reduced if he does it. So he's going to get significant playing time. I would be absolutely stunned if it was like last year where he gets 1 catch. Okay, it's not going to be like that. They're going to utilize Jameson Williams in the jet sweeps and the pass, deep threat, play action. You're going to see a lot of Jameson Williams, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, we moved up to get this guy. Brad Holmes went up to 12 to get him. He did something stupid. It wasn't like the most notoriously bad thing on earth that he did, but he should have been a little bit smarter about the gambling. All you got to do, JMO, is walk across the street. Don't be in the facility of any NFL headquarters. And but like Mike said, you're going to be OTAs, you're going to be training camp, you're going to be preseason, you're going to get some time. How they utilize him in that time is going to be something to keep an eye on. But yeah, when he comes back week 7, he needs to be implanted right away. And if we're really clicking though, it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. But hey, man, 1st round pick, he needs to do something, and I think he's going to do more than 1 catch. Yeah, for sure.
Rob down south gave the hardest question answer of all time. Hashtag Mark, is Broderick Martin likely to make the roster?
Robbie, well, I hope so, bro. I hope so, my friend. He was a 3rd round pick, man.
We traded up for him, so he better damn well make the roster.
He's going to make the roster. Yeah.
If Will Harris makes the roster, that guy make the roster if he lost eyesight and a leg.
Yeah. If he doesn't make the roster, then Brad Holmes really had a boo-boo on that one because, we don't know what Broderick Martin, I think, is right away. He's going to be a guy that's going to, probably be a rotation guy. He's a run stuffer at the moment. He's a huge body at 6'5", 340 pounds. So, yeah, man, he's definitely going to make the roster, Rob. He will, 100%, bro.
Do you think Green will make the team?
Good question.
I think so. I think he'll be number 6. He'll be wide receiver 6. I think he makes the team because he brings an outside threat that some of these guys don't have. And look, Marvin Jones Jr. is great when he does that, but he's not young. And I think they both make the team, but I think Green does as well. What do you think, Mark?
I think so, too. I thought that kid was going to get drafted maybe in the 5th round. He was kind of overshadowed by Josh Downs in college. He was the number 2 there, though. He's got really nice speed. If you watch him play, if you actually put the tape on, he reminds me of a speedier Marvin Jones. So he couldn't have come to a better team, because we got Marvin Jones. So I think it's a pretty solid comparison. And I think he's going to make the team. He's very athletic. He's fast. He's got good hands. Like Mike said, he could be that 5 or number 6 guy coming in because, Jamo doing what he did, this kind of opens up maybe a spot at the wide receiver position, and hopefully Antoine Green can earn that.
Hey, hashtag Detroit the way from Ryan Gibson. How many linebackers should an NFL team have, or does it change from team to team? Completely changes from team to team.
Changes.
Are you a 4-3, 3-4? That's going to make a difference. Or you're like the Lions, you do a weird 2. Like Lions probably have 6. Some of those guys be special teams, but it just depends what team you are and how many linebackers you use there. And I think that is exactly what Mark's going to say. I would ask him, but he's going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Why? Because Mark knows exactly what I'm thinking. Hashtag Mike and Mark. It should be like Mark and Mark show. The morning with Mike and Mark. Do you think that Aidan Hutchinson and James Houston will get over 20 sacks between them? Absolutely. Yes, they will. That is.
I think so.
100. They damn near got it this last year.
Yeah, I think Aidan Hutchinson is going to get 15 sacks this year. I've been saying that for a bit now. The production with James Houston, there's a little bit of tape on him now. But he's a very, very slick pass rusher. So, man,
I'd be shocked if they did. That would be a shock. You're talking about 2 guys. James Houston, didn't he end up getting 9 sacks? And then it was Aidan Hutchinson at 9.5.
Yeah, he had 8 sacks and Hutch had 9.5.
So if they don't get to 20, that would be an epic fall. And considering the fact that James Houston didn't play for nearly the first half of the season. So it would be an absolute shocker. And now you're going to see, again, we have better secondary. So it's going to give the quarterback to stand in the pocket just a little bit more. And I don't know how many times Aidan Hutchinson came this close to getting sacks. It felt like every game there was a time he was just a half a second away from getting another sack. So, yes, rest in peace to Jim Brown. He was my friend and mentor. Absolutely rest in peace to Jim Brown. Legend. Just a all-around really good guy for sure. So we definitely wish his family nothing but the best. You think Ed Oliver would really sign with us 11 mil for 11 years for 11 million year 4 years? No, well, you'd have to trade for him, and I just don't think the Lions are going to trade for him. He's not a free agent. I don't think the Lions trade for him. I think he's a name. I'm not going to pay him that type of money.
Yeah, he's probably going to make more than that, though. He's going to make more than that.
They go ahead and make more than that.
4 years at $11 million?
I thought you said $11 million each year for 4 years.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I wouldn't give him that kind of money. He's a good football player, but I'm not giving him that type of money. You got to trade
4 years, $11 million. That's cheap. Now you're talking $11 million a year. I'm not going to pay him that money. Look, he's a great name. His production hasn't shown and compared to some other players. So
right.
Like, who do you think's better, Quinnen Williams or Ed Oliver? Instantly, you look Quinnen Williams and, man, that dude's way better. Like, it's not even close. Yeah. Hashtag FGB, do you think that we will be an overall top 10 team this season? Yes, I do. I think we are. Is there, 14 teams that go into the playoffs? I think the Lions are probably the 3rd best team in the NFC right now, 3rd or 4th. And overall, they're a top 10 team for sure. Yeah, I'll give them that. What do you think, Mark? 100%.
I think, I'd put us at, probably the 3rd or 4th best team in the NFC, like you said. And, definitely top 10. And we have to be this year, man. The hype train's coming. The hype train is real. And I think we're gonna make some noise this year. I haven't said that in a while. I haven't felt this.
I haven't never felt this before.
I haven't. Not in a long time, bro. Not in a long time.
I remember watching I remember before 2011, and Matthew Stafford was doing his organized activities on the side when there was that lockout, and I said the Lions are going to make some big-ass noise that year, and they went to 10 wins and went to the playoffs. This year, I feel way more confident than that. Like, this team is just got it going on all 3 phases now. This is not a 1-phase team. This is a 3-phase team, and when you have that, and stability at quarterback with a guy who doesn't turn it over that much, it results in winning. It kind of reminds you of, again, 2011 San Francisco 49ers when they came into Ford Field and beat us with Alex Smith. I kind of feel like we're that type of bully team now. Like that, just that rough-nosed team that you can go on the road and pretty much beat anybody, and you got stability at quarterback. That's what it feels like a little bit right now when I look at the Detroit Lions. Riley Elder, #Lions. How much do you think we will use 2 tight end sets in the first 6 weeks? That's, I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be interesting how they use Sam LaPorta and Brock Wright. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I think, Ben Johnson's a very smart individual. He's a very good OC. So, he's going to be using guys like LaPorta. He's going to be using, what's it called? The other guy, James Mitchell. We just picked him up last year too, a fifth round tight end that could be really sneaky good. So, we might see that during the week, especially with the loss of Jahmyr out for 6 weeks. So can't really give you a percentage, but Ben Johnson's going to figure out a way to get these tight ends involved. He's going to.
#FGB. I meant 30 sacks. Sorry. 30 sacks between the two? I would say probably not. That's quite difficult.
Yeah.
You're talking 15 each. That's quite a bit. I would take the under on that one for sure if I'm a betting man. #besides Jared Goff, who would be most nervous to lose to an injury this year? Oh, yeah. If we lost Jared Goff, that would suck. The difference between him and Sudfield is night and day. Who would suck if we lost? Ooh.
Aiden Hutchinson.
That would suck.
Losing
suck. Aiden Hutchinson would be tough.
That would make me cry. That would make
I'm
me
gonna go.
Hutch.
I'll go something a little bit different here. If we lost to Lee McNeil, that would hurt us a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like we're still weak there, but Lee McNeil does so much on the interior defensive line. I think it would be a bit of a drop if we lost him.
Yeah, that would be significant. You've seen a lot of Brock. You'd be seeing.
You see a lot of Martin at that point. Mike and Mark, smash the like button so we can get an ultra combo. That's right. We have 122 in the building. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button right meow. If you hit it right meow, we get to 100 likes. We'll do that ultra combo, and we like it. Over here, that's a combo breaker. How long this year till we see Jack Campbell be middle linebacker? That's where I want him to be. I don't know if it would happen this year. I think they really like Alex Anzalone as that guy. I don't think we'll see it this year. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I think he's going to win a job. I think he's going to win a job with Anzalone. I think, we're going to see maybe Malcolm Rodriguez coming off the bench more this year.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell was taken 18th overall. He's a hell of a linebacker. Not saying he's going to be wearing the green dot year one, but I think we're going to see a lot of Jack Campbell, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people were kind of like, why did we pick an off-the-ball linebacker at 18? He can kind of do everything, man.
Why did we pick it?
Well.
Have they not watched our defense for the past 6 damn years?
Yeah. So
linebacker, I'm telling you right now, I have watched every freaking play, and I've done it on my channel for 4 years straight. And there's one position that has been terrible.
We've been begging.
It's that position.
We've been begging.
I would love it, Mark. I hope you're correct.
Yeah. We've been begging for an off-the-ball linebacker, and we finally have a good one. And a lot of people are shaking their head at that pick too. He's a hell of a linebacker, and don't sleep on that kid playing pass defense either. A lot of people are like, he can't play the pass. He was excellent at Iowa playing the pass. So Jack, you know what I mean? Jack Campbell,
love
Captain Jack in the building, Buckus Award winner. Don't worry, man. He's going to be good.
I love Jack Campbell. When they said his name, I went crazy. I've been talking about this guy probably more than any prospect in college football, and we got the guy who I wanted. It's unbelievable. And Jack Campbell's going to do wonders, I think, here in Detroit. And I 100% hope he is that guy. I think they do really like Alex Anzalone this year to do that, but I hope you're right, man. I'm definitely rooting for that to occur because I think he's just the best. I like this guy. I've got a man
for
crush
sure,
on Jack. Ryan Gibson, hashtag Lions Nation Night. Do you guys think Ben Johnson will stay another year if he makes a good run this season? I don't. I think he'll be gone after this season. If the Lions offense top 3, I think he gone.
Yeah,
I think we're going to go ahead and groom our next OC, and that's what you got to do. Good franchises do that. And I love Ben Johnson, but this is a great opportunity to groom a new OC this year because he probably is gone. What do you think? What do you think about that, Mark?
I think he's gone too, Mike. You know, if you listen to Dan Campbell talk and how kind of like excited and kind of like shocked he was that Ben did stay another year because he thought he was gone. If you listen to him talk, he's like, I honestly thought he was going to leave. I was going to get, I was going to support him to do what he had to do. He's one of the greatest hires that I've ever, well, he didn't hire him because he was already here, but he upped him to OC. And he honestly thought he was going to go. So, one more season, like they have it, like last year, how good the offense was. That happens again, he's going to be gone. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm trying to say. Just
Devin Davis, hashtag FGB. We always say hashtag FGB. Who will have the worst record this season?
Ooh.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select. That is who's going to have the worst record. I think they're a dumpster fire right now. That coach, to me, is a joke. They don't got their quarterback. He may not even play this year. Abandoned ship over there. I think the Cardinals are the first pick in the draft. Who you got, Mark?
That's funny that you say that because I was going to say the Cardinals, bro. I was going to say the Cardinals. They're a disaster.
Yeah,
they're an absolute disaster over there. I don't even know what they're going to do. That's a bad football team, guys. Arizona is definitely going to be top 2, top 3.
Yeah, unless some crazy thing happened, it really feels like it. Yeah. First off, they're in the NFC West. The Rams will beat them twice. Okay, even though the Rams suck last year, they are better. 49ers are going to cremate them. Yeah. Seattle, they may not win a single game in the division. Seattle's going to cremate them. This team may have 3 wins at most. This is up there with the Houston Texans right now. And to me, I think that Murray's done after this year because they'll be the first pick to take quarterback right then and there. Change the direction. Giovanni Lions over and under 18 interceptions. That's damn near an interception a game. I'll take. You know what? I'll take over. I just love the amount of talent we have, DBs. God dang. Yeah. It's just, you got interceptions galore back there.
Yeah, they got playmakers all over the field there. So I think they're going to go over 18 as well. It's not just going to be from the secondary too. We got some guys that can do it in the linebacker room too.
Hell, we got Aiden Hutchinson. Dude gets interceptions as well. Like this whole defense is made for interceptions. Jack Campbell can get an interception, so it's he a big boy. So there's no doubt about it. Lions win-loss record. I got 11 wins this year. Got the Detroit Lions going 11-6. Mark, what about you?
I've been saying 12, so I'm going to stick with 12-5. Definitely double digit, but I'm going to say 12-5.
Which game would be most satisfying to win this year? I say Seattle. I say Kansas City. The first game of the year in front of the whole world to beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead. The hype train would be on steroids if they did that.
It would be train a coming, bro. It would be train a coming if we did something like that. I'm going to say Carolina, though. I'm just going to throw a little bit different. I love your Kansas City pick. I'm going to say Carolina. Revenge is sweet, man. Revenge is a bet. We need to smash Carolina.
But which word would it be? You almost said it. He came close there, Mark Ora, man. You got language. What did Iron Man say to Captain America? Language. Hashtag FGP. Where do you think our backfield will rank? Ooh, that's a great question. Damn, I don't know about that one. Because we do got lightning and thunder. Great question, by the way.
Good question.
8.
Like you're talking about
I'll go 8.
Out of 32? Out of 32?
Yeah, out of 32, I'll go 8.
I'm gonna say 11. I'll say 11.
We do run it a lot, but we do pass it a lot. That will hold us down a little bit. Yeah. What's up, Darcy? Make sure you go to Facebook. Check out Darcy. Got a group over there talking Detroit Lions all the time. My man Mark Orum's on there quite a bit. Check them out. Hashtag FGB. Do you think Goff throws 10 or less interceptions this year? Dude, that's a great. I'll say less. I'll say 9. He goes 9 interception this year. He's not a big interception guy. He's just not. He never really was. It's more fumbles with him. I'll go 9. What do you got, Mark?
I think he'll throw, he got lucky on a few balls last year that should have been picked. He had really nice year, though, 7. So I'm going to say he throws at least 10. He's going to throw at least 10.
So he just goes even right then and there. Who starts next to Aleem McNeil?
At the defensive tackle position?
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to see a lot of Isaiah Bugs.
A
lot of Bugs. Kaminsky every now and then will be thrown in there.
Pascal will be thrown in there, and Broderick Martin.
Yeah, Broderick Martin. I think it's going to be a rotation. I think it's going to be game by game. I think it's really going to be game by game, scheme by scheme on who we're facing.
It will not be Levi on Brooks-Arike.
I expect him to be cut.
Yeah, I do too. Hashtag smash the hole. Very early Super Bowl predictions.
Oh, my.
Man. San Francisco 49ers versus I'll go Buffalo. Or no, you know what? Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati has Buffalo's number for whatever damn reason.
I'm gonna say the Chiefs again. I'm gonna say the Chiefs again versus the 49ers.
Yep. 49ers, and there's just a tough team, and they just got screwed over with the injuries, right? The NFC Championship game. Hashtag smash the hole very early. Oh, I already did that. What in the hashtag FGB? Do you think that Broderick Martin will be a sleeper this year? I think maybe to other teams. I don't think it'd be to us much of a sleeper. I think he's going to do what he's designed to do. I think you'll see a lot of playing time. I don't know if people think he's a sleeper. I think that be a little bit unfound. He's a 3rd-round pick, so I think you kind of expect what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, man, he's got a long way to go, I think.
Yeah, he does. Where do you see our defense ranking this year? I'm just hoping 16. If we can just get half of the NFL, this team can win that 11, 12 games.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get within that 15-20 range. We can't come out right away and be the worst defense in the league and trying to catch up again. We just can't do that. So somewhere between 15 and 20.
Folks, I got to go early here because I have a date I got to get to attend to. I appreciate everybody hanging out. The heavyweights will be live here in 17 minutes shortly. Mark Oram, what do you got to tell the folks before we leave?
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, Mike, for having me. I love being on the show. Love being on LNU. Thanks a lot to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to check me out, guys, on Mark Oram, Oram's Forum. I do everything Lions related, do videos, talk about the Detroit Lions, facts, feelings. I get right into it. So we have a good time doing it, man. So come check me out, man. I appreciate it, guys.
Again, be live on my personal channel on Thursday. We drop videos every single day. We're getting close to training camp and OTAs. See y'all next time.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters. They're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns.